How's it going, my viewers? Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm going to be doing mine as part 1 of What If Naruto Had Solo Leveling Powers. Just want to let you guys know, if you haven't watched, read Solo Leveling, it's a pretty good manga, or manhwa, that's how we call it in South Korea. So yeah, check it out, it's on Webtoon, or you can just download the actual app that's in the Play Store or in iOS. So yeah, let's jump right into episode 1. So Naruto, he's strolling around in the forest. It's a snowy day, and he's just, well, enjoying the time, well, with nobody else, just by himself. But it's a nice day, and he's walking in the snow, and he sees a few kids messing on, picking off his little girl, this girl, and he runs up to them, and he shoves a taller kid who seems like he's 8 or 9 years old. And he shoves him and says, "What the hell are you doing? Stop picking on her." And well, of course, first reaction of kids are to kick his ass, and that's what they do. Naruto fights 3-on-1, and he gets his ass kicked pretty decently. And while getting his ass kicked, he kind of he's going in and out of consciousness, and something flares in front of his eyes, flashing light, and he looks at it and says, "Do you wish to become a player? Yes or no?" And Naruto, not knowing what's happening, just knowing that he's getting his ass kicked, just getting punched and kicked on the ground, he stretches out his hand, and he passes out, but right before he passes out, his hand barely touches the yes sign. And he's accepted as a player, and he wakes up in an infirmary, in the Leaf Village infirmary. And when he wakes up, he's awoken by a nurse, and Lord Third, who's watching over him. And Lord Third is he's asking Naruto what happened, and Naruto just said, I was trying to help some girl out. I didn't get her name, but she was getting picked on by these kids, so I just I started fighting with them, but I kind of lost, as you can see. And Lord 30 kind of shakes his head, saying, "Naruto, you can't just automatically try to fight somebody. Use your words. You have a brain. No need to get aggressive for no reason." And he leaves Naruto to his rest. And Naruto, he asks the nurse, saying, "Can I go now?" And the nurse says, by tomorrow morning, you'll be released from our medical care. But for today, just rest and sleep." And that's what Naruto's gonna do. But he tries to close his eyes, but for some reason, there's a flash in front of him that doesn't allow him to. You can see through his eye sockets, and he opens his eyes again, he says, and a list of words appears, and it says, "Daily quest, 10 km, 300 sit-ups, 300 push-ups, 300 jumping jacks, 300 squats." And Naruto, he asks the nurse, "Miss Nurse, what's that?" And he points up above, like right in front of above his head. And she's like, "What do you mean, Naruto?" And he just says, "You don't see this? It says a bunch of activities I have to do." And the nurse just looks, and the nurse looks at the doctor that's, the head of the medical ward, and she just asks him, "How much painkillers did you give him?" And the doctor checked his notepad, and he says, "I gave him the normal amount." Just let me ease out of it. And the nurse and doctor, they just giggle a little bit, and they just laugh a little bit, and they walk away. And Naruto's wondering, what is this? He tries to click on this screen, and a bunch of various things that he activates by accident. He slides it, and an inventory pops up, and it says inventory on top, but nothing's in it. And he slides back, and it shows his daily quest that he has to do. And underneath it says, "If not completed, there'll be a penalty." And well, since Naruto's tired and too exhausted to do anything, and he's just guessing that maybe because he got beat up and he's just delirious, he just forgets about it and he falls asleep. He puts a blanket over his head so he can just get that light out of his eyes, and he just goes to sleep. Well, he wakes up next morning and he takes the blanket off his head and he looks up at the daily quest and timer. It says 10 seconds left. And Naruto just wonders, isn't there a penalty? What's gonna happen? What? Nurse, and he yells out to nurse. Then suddenly, the clock reaches 0 and he vanishes. And he's looking around. The sun is just so bright, beaming on his face. He looks around. There's nobody around. It's just a desolate wasteland. Then he turns his head around and he hears something rattling, something large and bulky in the sand. He turns his head and he sees the sand. It's moving. Well, Naruto's first reaction is to walk backwards. As the sand starts moving faster and faster, Naruto starts running away from it. But it pops up out of the ground. It's a giant centipede. It starts trying to chase Naruto, trying to kill him and eat him. And Naruto, not being able to do anything, all he can think of is just run. He's on adrenaline just coursing through his veins. And since he's so young, he can't run away. But luckily, the Nine Tails, realizing, he doesn't know what's happening right now, but he just realized, I gotta help Naruto. So he gives him his chakra, and he starts channeling it through Naruto. Though it's very difficult, since the seal is so tight, he's still able to leak enough just so that Naruto, he gets a jolt of energy that he doesn't know where it comes from, but he just starts running and running as fast as he can until the timer reaches 0 on the penalty. Then he just suddenly, boom, gets teleported right back to his nurse, his bed, his nursing ward and medical ward. He doesn't know what's happening. He's just looking around frantically, and the list appears again in front of him and says, "Penalty quest completed. Select your," and a reward box comes underneath and says, "Select your reward." And Naruto just is curious and wondering what's happening. What's happening to me? And with nothing else to do, he clicks on this reward. 3 little things appear before him. Fatigue recovery, +3 to stat of choice, or 10,000 gold. Naruto doesn't know really what to pick. He just picks +3 to stats, and he clicks it. And after clicking that and clicking OK, a list of a picture of himself, of his body, and a bunch of other things of measurements of himself appears. One is strength, agility, speed, intelligence, MP. He doesn't know what a lot of stuff means, but he kind of gets the strength and speed and agility. So not knowing what else to put, all of his stats, every single one is at 5 right now. He doesn't know if that's good or bad, but he just, puts three points that he got into, his strength. And suddenly he just feels a jolt of energy. He moves his arms around and feels like, for some reason, they feel a lot more dense. His bones feel a lot harder, a lot stronger. And he gets up, he gets out of his bed, while still being fatigued from running for hours straight. Off adrenaline, he just punches the air. And if he punches in it, it's a bit faster. And, he just feels, pretty energized right now. Not knowing what else to do, he just goes back to sleep for the next few hours, next 5 hours, until, the nurses come and tell him he's allowed to leave, and that's what Naruto does. He walks out of the medical ward, and he just goes around the village. He tries to go home. He walks home. It's a bit in the afternoon, about 1 o'clock, and he just goes home, and, a quest appears in front of him. It's his daily quest. And Naruto realizes, I guess I kind of have to do this. And he just chooses, I guess I have to do this. He starts doing jumping jacks in his house. For for the next hour, he does his 300 jumping jacks, feeling just out of energy. He's like, I gotta slow down. Breathing heavily, he's like, I'm just gonna rest for like another 5 minutes. And he just, during that time, he's gonna, you know what? I'm hungry. He decides he's gonna make some ramen. He eats some ramen. He feels well happy. He has some ramen. He has some food in his gut. He drinks some water. He's like, okay, let's continue. And for the next 5 hours, he does well, his his squats, his push-ups, his sit-ups. He does all 300 of those. Then, for another 2 hours, after that, even furthermore, he does his 10-kilometer run, running for 2 hours straight, just tired. It took him about 8 hours to do all of that, and Naruto's just exhausted. But appears in front of him is a list of three things that appears before him: stat increase, fatigue, recovery, and 1,000 gold. And what he does, well, he just clicks on everything, boom, boom, boom. He gets +3 to his stats, and he adds it again. He adds it another 3 to his strength. Now his strength is at 11, and all of his stats are at 5. And he gets recovered from the fatigue recovery, and he feels all good. And he's ready to keep on working out. 10,000 gold. He clicks on that. Well, 10,000 gold just automatically goes into his inventory. He doesn't know how much his stuff is worth, but well, he's just happy. Oh well, I guess I got money now. I can buy more ramen from Ichiraku, so that's good. He just rubs his head and he's like, well, this ain't that bad. Starts moving his arm around, and right now he feels super strong. A day ago he was super like weak, but now he feels strong, like he can do like anything right now. His strength has just doubled, even though he's a little kid. He feels he feels like he's able to beat those kids up that were picking on the girl. And that's what he decides to do. He goes around the village trying to find these kids, and he goes to the park and he actually finds them, and he says, "Hey, you remember me?" And he runs up to them before any of them are able to respond. He punches a 10-year-old kid right in the face, and that flings him back a feet, and he kicks the 2 other kids, in their faces, justly, and they're just whining and just crying because they have some fractured bones from that. And Naruto, he spits on the ground and says, "Don't come talk to me again. Don't mess with me again. Don't you dare pick on that girl again. If you do, I'll find you." Naruto, he's happy with himself. He kicked these kids' ass, and he realizes, this is gonna be kind of fun. That's what I'm gonna be leaving off as the first part, guys. Since I just wanted this part to be like kind of short, just a little introduction. If you guys viewers don't know about the solo leveling, it's amazing. I read it all so far for these past few years that it's been out, and it's great. Just watch it, read it, download the app, download webtoons, whatever you gotta do to just read it. It's pretty good. It's a good manga. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.